Hello, it is your favorite internet nobody. I forgot who I was. Who am I? What am I doing here? Why am I doing this to myself? I don't have to. um, yeah, it is December 23rd, 2024. It's a Monday. I am lit, literally. Despite what you're seeing outside, it's actually not that bright at all. It's actually dark and miserable here in the northern part of the UK. Hope you're doing well. I weighed in at 106.9 this morning, so I've gained back about 600 or 800 grams. Again, it's disheartening to see the week start that way. I thought I had everything set up. Last week, I followed a very strict feeding list, diet, whatever. The only thing that changed massively in that was I had more than 220 grams of protein a day. And I sincerely hope it was muscle I put on. Look at me. That's one of the downsides of having a very high body fat, is that if you try and do recomposition, meaning when you try to build muscle underneath all of that fat, you don't see any change. Effectively, you don't see any change. And you just get this up and down and up and down and up and down of your weight fluctuating insanely. And it is super upsetting. It is crazy upsetting to see that. But I think I have most of it down, and this is something I keep repeating. I have most of it down. Clearly, recomping when you're so fat is not a good idea. You have to lose the weight and then build it. But when you lose the weight harshly, you lose muscle as well. So then you have to rebuild it. And I flipping don't want to do that. But for the next 2 weeks, there won't be any gym going. In fact, this week, there's still some work to do at work. Get that done. Take a few days off because of national holidays, public holidays. And then just have lots of food. And then next week, I have a bunch of stuff to do, some traveling, but more, again, holiday related with my brother's family and some other friends. And yeah, when we get back, off to the gym we go. So 6th of Jan, gymage resumes. I'll continue to eat fairly cleanly, regardless of what's coming up tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and around New Year's. I intend to only go ham on those days and when I'm with friends and family. I don't intend to indulge myself in anything outside of that. And I think that's the key. I think that's the key to this. And we'll see if by the end of March, this is a new goal. It's very arbitrary as well. But if by the end of March, I'm not close to 100 kg, so if I'm not down by another 6 kg, give or take, then I will go for the appetite suppressants. I'll get like an Ozempic or something, and I'll let you know how that goes. And I'm still to do my test check. I haven't had a chance to. I haven't had a chance to look into that because I'm feeling okay, and to be honest, I have to pay out of pocket, and I just don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like I hate, 100 British pounds, which is 100 British pounds or 110 euro, or in US dollars, 120, 130, 140 US dollars, which might seem cheap to someone, and it's on the low end for me, but yeah, I'd rather not yet, just to see if my testosterone is high or low. Because that's another thing. If you were to measure anything but not take any steps to change, it doesn't matter. Like we have this thing with my father and my parents, every time I have a cold, they say, well, why don't you check your temperature? You don't have a single thermometer at home. And I'm like, okay, but what do I do with that? What do I do if my temperature is high? And just how high does my temperature need to get before I start taking medication? And how high does it get before I ask for medical help? All of that is just an unknown. Sometimes, I'm not saying don't measure it. I'm saying if you have a sustained temperature for a little while, it's inflammation. It could be other things as well. So it's worth monitoring. It's definitely worth monitoring. But there are certain aspects of your health where if you just measure them but you don't take action to remediate in any way or to change, you're just creating data. And even if you give it to your GP, they're not going to take it seriously anyway. So I'm not discouraging people from measure everything, track everything. Some people track temperature daily, regardless of their health. But I think that's the thing about say testosterone, for example. Testosterone you have to measure. Say you suspect you have a low testosterone for whatever reason. Maybe you've watched videos and you've got in your head that you do, or maybe you suffer with depression, anxiety, mood is low, sex drive is non-existent, for example. You feel weak for months on end. One reason could be low testosterone. Another could be your health. Your health could be just completely shattered. You might have some kind of lingering health issue other than low testosterone. So it's worth checking. But one way to identify a baseline is to get a test check once every 3 months. So if you do it for 9 consecutive months, so every 3 months you do a test check and it's consistently low, that's 9 months of consistent low test, which means, you definitely are a prime candidate for the treatment. But because the test I would be doing now would be my first in over a year, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it now or if I should wait a few more months before I do anything, because I feel like I should lose a bit more weight before I start worrying about the test. That's one of the things. If your body weight is high for a man, I suspect that also impacts your testosterone. Keyword suspect. I have nothing else, to be honest. I will be uploading one of my VR exercises just so you guys can see what that looks from my end. I will continue to post videos, but I'm not about my health checks and my Healthy by May stuff until the 6th of Jan. I hope you have a lovely next few days. And if you don't feel okay this time of the year, I get it. That used to be the case for me as well. But luckily, over the last few years, I've stopped feeling bad about this period. And I think as long as you're thinking about the next steps, as long as you're thinking about your next steps in life, this is just another time. This is just another, again, moment of your life and not much more. On the other hand, if you're excited about the holidays, enjoy. Go and have fun. I'll see you next time. Take care.